All right, we've rolled off for the mission. This is going to be, I believe it's called Battle Lines. So there's 4 objectives. You got the 2 center ones, and then there's 1 at each end. And the deployment zones, Wes won the roll off for deployment zone, so he's picking the side back yonder, over there, there's my finger. And I'll get this side, and he's gonna start deploying. There's not really any tricksy rules with this mission. It is just as it is. The take and hold, I believe you just have to hold 1 for 5. Let's see. Yeah, control 1 or more objectives, 2 or more, and then more than your opponent. So neither of us are using the special secondary, and that's it. So we'll come back after deployment and get this thing started up. Alrighty, here we are with Wesley or Wes?
Either or.
Either or. Wes's Genestealer Cult list. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to play my Drukhari against it. So we're going to see what all will happen here. So if you'll walk me through real fast.
Okay, so first up my HQs, we have these 3 units here. We have the Abominate, who will be my Warlord, who is taking the Warlord trait of Natural Survivor, or Born Survivor. Forget the actual wording on it, but it reduces all damage it takes by 1.
Okay.
And for Relic, he is taking the Mark of the Clawed Omnissiah, which gives him a 4-up natural invul. Because the Cult I'm taking, it becomes a 3-up.
Yeah. And the Cult is?
The Cult of the Bladed Cog.
Bladed Cog, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
The other HQs I have is a Jackal Alphys, plain out, just no relics. And then a Acolyte Icon Ward.
Nice.
The Acolyte Icon Ward has the spending an extra command point for an extra relic, giving him the Cult, the icon of the Cult of Ascendant.
Okay.
Then for troops, I have 4 choices. I have a unit of 10 Neophyte Hybrids. The leader has a whip, a pistol, chainsword, 2 grenade launchers, 2 mining lasers. The rest have autoguns. A big unit of 20 Acolyte Hybrids with Icon, which allows them to reroll 1s in melee. They are all equipped with Hand Flamer. I would spend the extra 2 points per dude on that. Okay. And 8 have rock drills. And then I should have 1 more unit of 5. There's supposed to be 3 unit of 5-man bare bones Acolyte Hybrids. Okay. For elites, I have a unit of 8 Aberrants, 4th pick, 4th hammer. Then I also have a Clamavis here. What's special about him is he can, instead of deep striking with 9 of him, it's within 12. So he can kind of shuffle out. For fast attack, I have 3 Scout Sentinels, with 2 with Heavy Flamer chain sword, 1 with just Heavy Flamer, a unit of 3 Achilles Ridge Runners with Heavy Mining Laser Flare Launcher, and then a unit of 6 Bikes. The leader has a auto gun, the rest have auto pistols and knife, and then with a wolf quad with a Adeline flamer and improvised weapon. Nice. Then for heavy support, I have a unit of Brood Brothers heavy weapons team, all with auto cannons, and a Cult Lehman Russ with the Exterminator autocannon and 3 heavy bolters. And then for dedicated dedicated transport, I have 2 Goliath trucks, both with just heavy stubber and with twin autocannon. And that is my 2,000 point list on the nose.
Yikes. That is going to be fun. All right, so for the Drukhari, we're going to have a Prophets of Flesh detachment, 3 Talos over here, homunculus, some bare bones racks. Then we have a Ynnari detachment. We got the Incarn. We got 10 Incubi. We got 5-man Cavalite squad. There's a blaster and a blast pistol there. The Archon has the Hungering Blade, which is the relic for the Ynnari, and a blast pistol. And then a squad of 5 witches. One of them, can't remember what she's called, but the leader has the blast pistol, and there's a Hydra Gauntlet wearing witch in there as well. Then I have Drazar, the Master of Blades. He's the Warlord, and he is actually running in the last detachment. So I have 3 patrols here using the Drukhari raiding party rule. This is a Dark Technomancer Coven. The 2 Ravagers are actually Reapers for this battle report. Then I have 2 Venoms. I have the 5-man Scourge unit with Haywire Blasters, and the little leader guy has the Assault Carbine, or Shard Carbine. And then a 5-man squad of racks. We got the Ossifactor and a Hex Rifle in there, and then the rest is just that. That is 2,000 points for me on the nose as well. And I'm a little worried about all the firepower on his side. So we're hoping that the Drukhari Trixies can be tricksy enough. And yeah, so we'll get the battlefield set up, roll off the mission, and we'll come back. All right, here we go. This is another Kitchen Table Wargaming Battle Report being hosted by Empire Central. Appreciate you folks. And Wesley's Army over here. This is, of course, what the Genestealer Cult does. They, I discovered, have a scout movement. They have a scout movement, hence they are not blips. Everybody else is a blip. I'm so excited, except for his giant blob of dudes, and they are in deep strike. Over here, Drukhari, we have spread things out a bit. Both of us took engage on all fronts, and it's about all I got to say about that. I did put the 10-man Incubi and Drazar in the webway for 2 CP, so that's going on there, and the Scourges will come in as they fly around and do what they do. So I have no idea what's going to happen here. It looks for all the world like I have a bunch of tanks and things coming down my throat, and I'm not excited about that, but we'll find out. These guys have all done some crazy shenanigans in their days, so we'll see. We're going to roll off, see who gets to take the mighty first turn. Go ahead. That is a 6. That's a problem for me. I got a 3. So I'm, yeah. You going first or you let me go first?
First turn.
Yep. Alrighty. There we go. We'll be back at the end of his turn 1. All right, so the end of the Genestealer Cult turn 1. Everybody moved up over here. Scout movements. Got these guys pretty far up. Goliath trucks have a disgusting 12-inch movement. I was disappointed. Lehman Russ just scooted forward enough to get in range and shoot stuff twice with his main turret. Faria's over there telling those Ridge Runners to hit better, and they did. These guys kind of shuffled around back here, raising the banners right there. Those guys stayed still, obviously. And then these guys all moved up over here. So for me, it could have probably been worse. I'm not entirely sure why I put a Reaper over there, but it's not there anymore, so I don't have to worry about it. I would have hoped that it would shoot. And it did explode. That was cheeky, and I only did 1 wound on myself, so that could have been a lot worse. And that 1 Talos is down to 4 wounds remaining in that squad. So that is the end. We'll go into the Drukhari turn 1, and we'll come back when that is it. It scored 3 points for bring it down, and that's it. So we're moving on into turn 1 Drukhari. All right, end of Drukhari, turn 1. We did very little work with the Haywire over there, but we did take a few wounds off the Ridge Runners. The Talos came up and then made a charge into this Goliath and killed it in combat. It did explode, and it did more wounds in exploding than it did in shooting, but that's okay. So that Talos is down to 1, consolidated up. So we are actually holding the objective with 1 Talos and not quite in engagement with these dudes on the ground. They got out without breaking any legs. Proud of them. Back here, we use Black Cornucopians. So these racks popped up in this corner, made their charge, got into combat with them, did a singular wound, and that was it. Over here, we did use the Reaper. It shuffled around, or it flew up, didn't shuffle. It one-shotted the Goliath over here, which was exciting. 1 Aberrant broke his leg getting out, so I laughed. He did not. Wesley was kind of sad. But then my Venoms, with their supercharging with the Dark Technomancer, I really like this. This is the first time I've tested it. It was good. I took all but this 1 guy, and he only has 1 wound left. So he paid the CP to keep him there to hold that objective. That was impressive shooting from them. Then my Venom failed to make a 6-inch charge. That was disappointing. The Witches were going to charge him and maybe cause some trouble, and we didn't. This one did make his charge. He took some wounds and from the Overwatch for his troubles. And I think that's it. So I did score 6 points for Bring It Down and 3 for Engage on all fronts, leaving my homunculus all exposed and feeling bad for himself. But he got me some points before he gets eliminated, so we'll take what we can get. And that's where we stand. So that's the end of the battle round 1. The Drukhari currently have a lead thanks to blowing up vehicles, but he's got lots of troop dudes coming in pretty soon. So I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this turn. We shall be back at the end of Genestealer's turn 2. Okay, we've finished up Genestealer turn 2. This mess came up here and messed with my Incarn. My Incarn suffered a bit, went down to 2 wounds, but survived. Very excited about that. Then Aberrant over here killed the Venom. Everybody piled out, just barely, shuffled in. Incarn came to visit over here because Aberrant was the scariest thing and he'd already attacked. And no, that's all I gotta say about that. The Ridge Runners with Mr. What is he?
Jackal Alphys.
Jackal Alphys decided to try to get rid of this Reaper. Did a pretty darn good job, so it's hurt. It's got 3 wounds left. My Homunculus survived with a wound, which in hindsight, I didn't reroll anything, but I almost did, and then I realized if he died, I could have got the Incarn out of town before the charge happened, but it didn't end up mattering, so he's there. Talos is gone, hurt his brother, and that was fun because he exploded. Back here, things stayed the same. Over here, these dudes with the autocannons, twin autocannons, right? The heavy team.
Regular autocannons.
Regular. They fell back. Let these guys charge in. So we had some slap fighting over here. Lost 3 racks. Lost 2 neophytes. Is that right?
Hybrids.
Acolyte hybrids. I'm going to try.
Neophytes are the ones with guns, and then
yes.
acolytes are the ones with knives and claws.
Jolly good. Jolly good. And then over here, piled in, consolidated into my Cabalites. Look, I'm so proud. My Cabalite Warriors did a wound on the big bad. Nasty. So that was exciting. That's not a big deal, but it was fun. That made me happy. And so that's it. He did score 10 on primary. Got another Bring It Down.
And I'm raising 2 banners. And
Raising 2 banners.
I think I'm in the quadrants for Engage on all fronts.
Yes, Engage on all fronts. I hadn't looked at that.
I think I'm literally in all 4 quadrants.
You are for sure. Excellent. So there we go. It's a close game at the moment. Drukhari turn 2 coming up. All right, end of Drukhari turn 2. This here Reaper that was very wounded managed to whiff all of its shots with blast. 12 shots. I got 2 hits and turned into 2 wounds, which with the overcharging from Dark Technomancers, I killed 4 guys. So that was a thing. Over here we shuffled. These homies, so sad, came over here to try to shut down some Ridge Runner shooting nastiness and failed the charge 4 times because, you know, they each get to reroll with the battle, Power from Pain, yes. Battle round 2. So that was very disappointing. Talos and the Scourges did a lot of wounds, but not killing the Lehman Russ. So it's got 3 left. Then the Talos charged, killed all but 1. He's just chilling, and he did not fail his morale like a boss. Over here, we took some wounds off of this guy. Don't remember his name, but he's done.
He's a Clemens.
That guy. He's got 2 left. We used Black Cornucopians again to pop out of combat over there, bring these racks back over here. They deployed Scramblers, sat still. Over here, we stayed in combat with everything, with the Cavalite Warriors stayed in combat. The Incarn charged. We killed the Abominant with a combination of Psychic, shooting, and then charging. The Archon over here charged, killed a Sentinel. He whiffed those shots, ironically. The Witches did some work with combat and killed 3 or 4. How many of these? We killed 3 bikes?
Killed 3.
3 bikes.
Because one of them died to my passing off a wound.
That's right, passed off a wound. Yeah, and the Venom put some shots into the... I can't remember that guy's name either. The other character that was over here. The guy, yeah, he was not fun. Anyways, he passed off a wound once, and then he died to the Venom. So, yeah, it was interesting. We did some work. There's still a lot of stuff left on the table for both sides right now. So I don't know. We'll come back at the end of turn 3. Okay, the end of the Drukhari, turn 3. The bikes are gone here. The Sentinel is gone here. The poor racks, they're gone over here. They did manage for a round or 2 of combat. Came over here, did a lot of shooting, and he rolled a lot of 5s and 6s. It was disappointing. Charged in and didn't do anything in combat, so that could have been a lot more fun. Over here, the Talos and the 2 Scourge. 1 Scourge died to overcharging. The Talos and the Scourge combined took the last 3 wounds off the Lehman Russ, so we got that gone. Over here, we killed in combat with the Talos charging in. Over here, Drazar killed the remaining, what are they called again? Acolytes. Hybrids. Those guys. Got rid of those guys on his charge. He did 8 wounds that they did not save. Consolidated into the Ridge Runners over there. So the end of the game at this point, because I'll have to actually sadly leave, it's 58 to me, 47 to Wes. It's a close game. It's a really close game. We think if we played it out, I probably would still edge him on points because of what I have left on the table to play around with. And I've killed a lot of his things. But if I could stay, we'd finish it out and find out for sure. But that was a lot of fun. Pretty entertaining game. Much appreciated. Very appreciated, sir. And we're going to call it there. So thank you for watching. It's been a blast.